God bless you. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. The Mongans have been a no-show. Look what I'm doing here. The Mongans have been a no-show because we've been around the world in 80 days. Right, Deacon?
Yeah.
Hi, Deacon.
It's been fun.
It's been fun. I complained to the Lord, first Pat, and I complained to the Lord about not ever going or doing anything. And before we knew it, we went to Ave Maria University for a month for our January pause. Then
we went to Florida, in Central Florida, near Melbourne, in a small development. It's really huge development. Compared to when we were there, it's called Viera West.
Yeah, the Planned Community. We visited Father John. Hey, Father John. And we visited our friend Deanna and her husband. And we had such a good time with Deacon John and Deanna. And then we forgot one. We went off to Tampa to visit June, Council, and Claude and Matt. Hi, guys. And we had a great time there. We spoke at the Woman of Mercy Ministry on our testimonies. And we had a great time there. Then the finale was we came home, unpacked, and packed, and then
we went to our daughters also in Florida.
Oh, we did. Hey, Ashlyn, getting better from mono, and Terrellyn and Dan. Dan's going to be starting a new job soon. We're very excited. And then lastly, once we unpacked our bags and then packed our bags, where did we go?
You tell me.
We went to EWTN.
I can't keep track anymore.
We went to At Home with Jim and Joy, and we felt really at home, and we had a great time talking about my second book I published, for the Mountaintops, with my girlfriends, Debbie Cosper, Ann Shea, and Pat Mirando. I had such a fun time on the air with Pat, and we felt like it was a great place to visit. Such peace in the land. Same with Ave Maria University. Such peace in the land. But today we're going to talk about a subject that I'm sure you've been thinking about lately, because I think it's the word for the Lord for this season. Is we're in Lent, right? And are you a sheep or are you a goat? Well, what would be the difference?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Sometimes probably some of us would like to be a goat. Because we like to be independent.
Oh, that's true.
The idea is Jesus uses that analogy because people of his time knew exactly what he was talking about when he was talking about being like a sheep or being like a goat. Because sheep tend to go along with the crowd and are docile and more obedient, whereas goats can be more stubborn and hard-headed and actually butt you with their heads. And so Jesus uses that analogy when he wants to talk about those who are followers of his, those who want to be in the kingdom versus those who want to go their own way.
You know, if you look at the world today, as you see, just like the scarecrow, some people are going this way and some people are going this way. And there's a divide. There's a great divide. And the divide is the word of God. I'm almost convinced that God is showing his people, do you want to be a sheep or a goat? There's a divide. What is right to some people seems wrong, and what is wrong to some people seems right. So I'm thinking that we need to set the record straight and say, can you say Bob, Bob, ha ha, Bob, Bob, black sheep, or can you say Billy Goat Gruff? You know, what side do you want to be on? Do you want to go do you want to go towards Jesus and his word and being in tune with him and living for him, or do you want to be doing your own thing? So that's one thing. If you look in the church, there's also a divide. And it's sad to me because we believe as Catholics that we all are trying to be united in Christ, one nation under God, but also in the church, it's one holy apostolic church. Is that right? Did I leave something out? One holy apostolic church. And that's united. Catholic, sorry, one holy apostolic Catholic church. If you're watching this and you're a Protestant, welcome aboard. We're glad to visit. We love all the different faiths that are in Christ, that believe that Jesus is Lord and he died for our sins. It's like, he's like this. He's looking at our timeline. On Mondays, we eat at the club and we play trivia with the family. You know, building family when you have older children is hard. So we make our commitment every single Monday. We're there and eat food, and we love it at the club there in Barton Trail. If you're local, come on down to the tavern. So what do you think about the sheep and goats and compare it to what God wants us to do?
Well, people who want to sit there and seem to believe in universalism being everybody gets to heaven, Jesus certainly dissuades us by saying, many are going to be goats and many are going to be sheep, and the goats are those who are separated from him, and that's because they chose it. Mm-hmm. They chose to be different. They chose not to do what Jesus wants them to do and asks them to do, and so that means they're headed for hell. But goats can become like sheep. And the truth is,
hope, right? There's always
right,
hope to
and
come
sometimes
back.
sheep can become like goats.
You don't want to do that. That's the opposite of what we want to do. But can you give an example of right is never wrong and wrong is never right? Because I say it a lot because I do see it where someone will say, well, abortion is your choice. No, not really.
That's one. It's clearly
that's God's choice.
Jesus is very clear about not killing, especially killing innocent people, and so. You can never say that's right.
The husband is the head of the home, or that's optional. That there are many ways that you could see that God is trying to say, wake up my people and do what I say to do. When you have a daddy, most of us have a daddy. You brought and you have a mom and a dad, a girl and a boy. That's how we believe. That's what God said. And you have a daddy that you follow out of love for him, then it's easy to follow God out of love for him. Because you're like this, my dad was always right. And I did what he said, and I didn't get in trouble. How about you?
Well, I think,
I've been on the spot.
whether you believe in the slogans or not, the slogan of MAGA, Make America Great Again, I think that's good. I think that's good for every country to want to be a great country, in terms of great for the people who live there.
To have pride in your nation, like a good pride, not a proud, like ugly,
or
like
better
than you.
Just the idea of being the best we can be, and then making America healthy again. That's great. As a retired physician, boy, do we need that. You see how much poor health we have in this country in spite of all our wealth, and that's part of the problem is because we have so much money and wealth, and the way we spend it is just really been shown not to be good for our health. But then I heard another one that I thought was really good, and it's Mama, Make America Moral Again. Oh my goodness, we see how immoral it's become, how I've seen how the medical profession has become so immoral, with mutilating children and endorsing the killing of babies, and so we certainly need that, and there are other sources of morality, but Jesus is the number one source, and the Catholic Church has got great teaching on morality and the various good things to do, the moral things to do. And in Lent, we focus on a few of those things.
Yes, we focus on prayer, sacrifice, and almsgiving. What are you doing to serve the Lord in Lent? Pat and I were thinking a lot this morning about how great it would be if more people looked at the positives, right? The positives like the
You meant fasting, right?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Although fasting is a sacrifice for most people. So.
And that would be me, my first mistake of that. But I'm saying that we thought about how in Lent we heard someone talk about doing something positive. And so we thought about bringing up right here in our next 10 minutes, I think that's what we got, right, at 15, is bringing up the corporal and spiritual works of mercy. But I want to tell my joke first. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we go. It's not that bad. We had celebrated Pat's 79th birthday, so send a card to Mongan's. You can find us in the phone book, on the Facebook, everywhere. We're there. Ellen Mongan, and sent to our home. But he, at his birthday, the baby girl decided to have him come to, she wanted to visit with Jonas, which is his specialty, and that was such a nice thing. And the kids came, Troy and Maggie and her husband, Trey, and her. And then we had the idea of the club. Well, we're almost done eating a little Maggie. She's very soft-spoken, gentle, which she should be. She probably is a sheep, Baba. But she leaned over to me and says, Nana, what are you giving up for Lent? And I said, And I told her what I was giving up. And then she said, I gave up potato chips. And then she said, and I want to go to the Adoration Chapel every day. Now that does not come. Just she's born and then all of a sudden she loves the Lord. Her mom and dad trained her and trained her to be a person that does the right thing. So I just want to put that in there in case you're thinking about it's too late to start Lent. You can start today, or it's too early. Right. No, we're already 7 days into it. So keep your calendar handy and And I'm not going to say what I'm giving for Lent. Maybe I will share another time. So here we go. And
Yeah,
Corporal of Spiritual Works of Mercy. That would be Corporal, a spiritual work of mercy.
Corporal.
Visit the Adoration Chapel. Do you want to say
So
what it is?
Corporal is really, the spiritual are more focused on Jesus, but the corporal are feed the hungry, provide drink for the thirsty, shelter the homeless, visit the sick, visit the prisoners, bury the dead, and give alms. So you can see, actually, although the focus in Lent is in terms of giving more alms, doing more for others really is what it's about. Putting others, working hard to put others first in whatever you do. It shouldn't be so much of what are you giving up, which is also good, because sacrificing helps you to see how difficult it is for so many people in the world. And we're not required to fast because of our age, but we still do some sort of fast, and you can do without food or other things. But the idea is all those things, in terms of corporal works of mercy, in some way touch on giving alms, looking out for the people who are disadvantaged or poor or living in difficult circumstances or homeless. And we can't all necessarily be housing people, but certainly we can all be donating money to give to organizations that do support and help the homeless, the veterans, feed the poor. That we can go to soup kitchens or whatever in terms of doing that, more of that during this season. And the goal really should be is that whatever you do during Lent, to try to carry it on beyond Lent till the next Lent, and add on to that.
That's right.
Each Lent, do a little more for Jesus.
When you give up, you don't give up Lent. It's not you don't give up. Give up something. Give it maybe potato chips, like Maggie. But don't you think the spiritual works of mercy are so important? Like Maggie's idea about going to adoration. That is a really important. She's only 6 or 7 years old. She's a young follower of Christ that wants to do the right thing. I'm so impressed. My grandchildren that are following the Lord. So, what do you think about some spiritual works of mercy? Like, we are trying to go to Mass more. Now, we cannot say we're going to go every day like some people do, because we have some health issues, especially me, where it's really cold. So we try, right? We try, but we don't always make it. Well, I do want to add, like Fridays, we fast for our country and our church, and for some of our grandchildren, people that are suffering. There's a gal named Susan McBride who needs a lot of prayer. She's having a medical challenge, and we're praying for a miracle. In fact, we did stop we were at EW10, and Jim was nice enough to bring us in the room where Mother Teresa had people come to pray and to
Mother.
I'm sorry. Well, she's a saint too, we think. Mother Angelica had her miracle happen. We didn't remember this from reading all of her books. She had a little Italian lady, and I'm Italian, go in the room and tell her, I feel like the Lord wants to give you a miracle. Just take off your crutches. If any of you remember, Mother Teresa, Mother Angelica was the one that couldn't walk, and she said, my legs are all twisted, they'll be in a pretzel. And she did believe, and she did walk, and that was it. So we prayed in that room for a friend of ours, Ryan McCardle, who had just gone through an open heart surgery, and for Susan McBride, who was in the hospital suffering as well. So we're praying for miracles, and that was only because we were inspired by that talk that Jim and Joy said to us. So what are some other spiritual works of mercy? Reading the scriptures.
Right, and you pray for the dead, and so not just bury, but pray for the souls in purgatory. So more prayer are good things to do, and
Sacraments.
Spending more time with Jesus and participating in confession, and those are all the more spiritually oriented works that we can be doing in terms of, and lifting up our pain for people in terms of the suffering that other people are going through. And
what about at 3:00?
Do the Divine Mercy Chaplet.
It's very important. It's because we don't know who needs prayer at that moment. We just say, I'll offer this prayer for those who need the most. I mean, it's just us. We need a lot of prayer ourselves. But I think it's very good so that was our idea, is to talk about the spiritual works of mercy and the corporal works of mercy, and to also bring in about the fact that Lent is a time when God is looking at your heart. Like, you may think you're doing really good. I'm doing so good on Lent. Like, I didn't answer my cell phone the whole time I was in Mass. Ta-da. Or maybe I was able to be kind to that person. I know she hates me. But how do you know? It's in my mind she hates me. I mean, these are things that are good, but maybe better to ask the Lord, what should I do for Lent?
Really, yes. Even if you haven't really got anything clear, still spend some time in terms of, okay, God, what do you want me to do? And then the other obvious things is going to more, daily Mass more often, and spending, again, more time with Jesus, even at home, in terms of setting aside more time, maybe, and reading a good spiritual book. Those are just all some of the things. But the idea of Lent is the church likes to give us seasons to make us think about, what are we doing? What's our life like? And how does that fit in terms of being one of Jesus' sheep?
That's right. It's Baba. Patrick, the Pope today had a little short talk about Lent, day 7. I think it was day 7 today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said that to listen. Now, that could be a sacrifice, like giving up chips for Maggie. You could say, like, I want to talk. I think listen. My problem is when I listen, I say I'm listening, and then I'll say that I wait, and they go, "What's wrong? Are you there?" I'm so used to talking. They didn't know I'm listening, so I start with going, I'll listen. And sometimes the person doesn't have anything to say, but if you be quiet long enough, maybe they will come up with some kind of. I usually ask questions, which I think is a really good way to ice break killer, because I didn't know half the world's shy and introverted. I had no idea. I thought it was like, hello, it's a new day, let's all celebrate. It was an awakening for me. So listening is a good
day 7 for him.
Oh, is that day 6 for us or day 5?
Because he's a day ahead of us.
Okay, so okay, that was neat. But listen, like, start the day off tomorrow. Say, I'm going to listen longer. That's the lesson I learned from Patty Harmon. Sometimes we listen. In the South, I said before, if you listen, they take a breath, and they're not done. They're not done. And I think I'm a raised Northern. I'm a Southern in my heart. I really am. But I talk, and then I'm stopped. I breathe. I'm done. If I stop talking, Pat knows I'm done. Pop in, or I just have to tap his leg and say, it's your turn. Because it is a cultural thing. Listening is an art they have conquered. They really do listen. So I had a problem one time with a sister, and I didn't listen long enough, so I thought she was done, but she was not done at all. She says, I do listen, I said. And she said, listen longer. Like, are you finished? I mean, that sounds kind of like, I hear you saying, I don't like that at all. I guess some people do. But listen and try to say, don't listen just with your ears. Listen with your heart, too, and say, you have to kind of read between the lines. Not things like, I don't think that person likes you, something like this. It looks like they're hurting. You can tell in their eyes they're hurting, or they're sad, or they're trying really hard to be nice to you, and they're going.
Yeah, and we went.
These are true things.
When we were in Birmingham, where EWTN is, we went to Our Lady of Sorrows for Sunday Mass, and it has these huge stained glass windows and beautiful statues, and it was just really beautiful. And the priest who gave the homily made the point which is really an excellent point, is Jesus wants everybody to be in heaven.
Yes.
When earlier I said some people believe in universalism. Well, based on history and whatever, it's not likely that everybody is going to get there, but everybody has that opportunity. And Jesus wants everybody to be there, but it has to be freely chosen. And so he said, when you see somebody you want to help get to heaven. Because that's what Jesus wants. And he's absolutely right. That if you looked at every person as Jesus wants that person, no matter how ornery, difficult they are, how bad they are, Jesus does want them to get to heaven.
And he wants change to happen for them, because the Bible's written so that our life will go well. We may have trials and tribulation, but we have Jesus to guide us along the way. The Bible's written, if you do what it says to do, God's faithful to do what He says to do. I was struck, and if we're going to share a little bit about spiritual things that happened this weekend, I was struck in the there's a chapel at EWTN where we were, where the TV show was filmed, and I looked up. I had done my rosary, I'd prayed, and I'd been quiet. I looked up, and I saw this white wall behind the Eucharist, which was exposed, the Adoration Chapel. And I realized that in the little white, if you look really closely, and I'm not that good at vision right now, I saw angels, and I mean they were inlaid in the white. It wasn't like I saw a vision of angels, and one was playing a trumpet, and then one was playing a drum, and one was playing a flute, and I thought, that word always comes to me, and I think I'm going to close with that because Pat has another closing remark. I'm going to close with that. Everyone has a part to play in this world, and everyone's a part to play in the church. Someone's a soft little flute, and that's, I think, my Maggie is. She's going to be a flute. She's quiet and gentle. And then there's drummer boys, like some of our grandchildren are really more the drummers. They're out there beating away. And, we all have a part to play. And so even with Lent, one gal might think it's really hard to give up chocolate. Now, see, I don't like chocolate. That is not something God would give me to do. I sometimes give up sleep in the middle of the night and pray through the night for people I know are really in need of a miracle. Because sometimes it needs more than just like, oh, Lord bless so-and-so. Sometimes you have to really talk with the Lord about it and offer things up, like Pat said. And so each one has a part to play, and we don't all play the same part. So I'm asking of you today, stop and pause in prayer. Ask the Lord, what role am I playing, and how do I play it better? And then do whatever He tells you. Pause and pray, listen and obey. Do what He tells you, like Mary said, Blessed Mother said to the people. Do whatever He tells you, because He'll fill your heart with so much new wine, and you'll be able to go out there and do your part and play it well.
Yes, so this is a season the church has given us to really prepare us, to really be welcoming when Jesus comes at Easter.
That's right.
Because who wants to be a scummy person in front of somebody who is just really, such a good person? And of course we all will have sin in our lives, but this is a season and time to work a little harder, if not a lot harder, on our faults and weaknesses and our sin in our lives, to get more clean so that we can enjoy being in front of and being with the King of Kings, who is so pure and holy.
That's right.
That there's no way we can compare. But He wants us to be like Him, and He provides the grace to do so. So we're traveling along, singing a song, side by side. God bless you.
Happy Lent.